Oh, Canada, our home and native land, through faith and love, in all thy sons command, with flowing harmony, see thee rise, the true north, strong and free, from far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for
That was Stan Foster singing both the Canadian and American national anthems. And the game now goes to the hands of the senior referee, Dave Newell, to be joined by Wayne Bonney and Sweet Knox as the linesmen. The off-ice officials are from Winnipeg. And the key matchup in the series, of course, will be goaltending, as we have said so many times in playoff competition. No surprise, it'll be Chevrier and Vernon, the respective goalkeepers who have carried their teams thus far in the playoffs. There you look at the veteran Dave Newell. Any veteran observers saying that this will be his final season. And how about what the Chicago Blackhawks did? One of about 6 or 7 deals this year, acquiring Alain Chevrier, who now calls himself Alain, for a 6th-round draft pick. He has been sensational in the nets for the Chicago Blackhawks, and you can't overlook the goaltending of this man. Mike Vernon, 26 years of age, 5'9", 170 pounds, a 2.51 goals against average. That's even better than his regular season average when he won 37 games at a 2.65 goals against. Calgary in the white uniforms, defending the zone to the left. The red-clad Chicago Blackhawks, the zone to the right. The Blackhawks arrived here in Calgary about 5 o'clock yesterday. Had a full-scale practice this morning at the Olympic Saddledome. The Flames, on the other hand, had a full-scale practice yesterday, and only a couple people skated this morning. Yeah, getting into it early, Herb.
When you look at Chicago's red sweaters and the red sweaters to the crowd, you wonder who's home and who's away.
Dave Newell taking a little time as you watch from overhead. Joe Alano was set for the face-off. Troy Murray backs out, now moves in. Battle for the puck won by Calgary. Merson playing it back to MacInnis. Troy Murray moves up to forecheck. MacInnis tried the right wing boards, and it's loose in the Chicago zone. That's Manson back. Moves it around to the left side, held in by Merson. Poplinski got bumped off the puck. Bob Murray for Chicago gets it to the line. Lanny McDonald held it in there. And now Poplinski dumps it deeper in toward the corner. Picked up by Manson. Manson working one side of the defense, Bob Murray the other. Chicago bottled up in their own end. There's McDonald trying to center. Loose puck for the penalty call. Referee Dave Newell, only 34 seconds into the game, spotting an interference situation. And Calgary will be penalized as the captain, Jim Poplinski, goes to the penalty box.
Jakes, in the first minute of play here, you're going to see that Calgary really likes to activate their defensemen. They like to pinch down. And how Chicago takes that away from Calgary is going to be a very important thing. They might have to delay somebody. They might have to sneak somebody out of their defensive zone to pull the Calgary defense out of there. But if they don't do that, and the way that Calgary's a very intelligent, persistent, big, strong, forechecking team, it's going to cause a problem.
Gary Crisp, knowing that Chicago has put the power play to good advantage in the playoffs. They've seen it jump to a 20% efficiency rating. And they took the man advantage here as Poplinski is off for interference, and Bob Murray lugs the puck out. Murray dances over the Calgary line, drops it back to the right side. Here's Adam Creighton. Creighton beats the blue line. Larmer centered one wide of the net. Savard in after it. Danny Savard puts it on target. It's covered now by Vernon, and there's no further play. Look at Mike Keenan, the Chicago coach. He's been to the playoffs before. And the Chicago bench, 31 players on hand. What you're seeing, the Keenan clock. play stoppages, Chicago likes to do a lot of jockeying, bench jockeying, if you will, and we put a clock on the coach. We'll call it the Keenan clock. See what he'll do to stall play and just how long it takes. Didn't do much here, only about 24 seconds between the play stoppage and the time the puck was dropped, and Patterson slams it down the ice. Mike is aware of the clock, by the way. Said to our producer, what's this Keenan clock? And just fired a little, and in the center ice area, trip. Chicago will be penalized, and the team's now at 5-a-side as Savard goes off the ice. No longer wearing the Captain C on his uniform. That's gone to Dirk Graham. Say that so much of this series hinges on what Savard does. Not a good play here, Herb.
Well, Dennis Savard is the key. As I said earlier, Jigs, this guy is magic, and he can light them up, and they need him on the ice, killing penalties, playing a regular shift, equal strength situations, a power play. I guess he got caught in a little questionable penalty in neutral zone, but this series is going to revolve on the abilities of Dennis Savard to inspire his teammates.
Terry Crisp doing some math, figuring out the time here. 1 minute and 22 seconds left on Poplinski's penalty. Now Savard draws the 2-minute tripping penalty. Calgary with Gilmore winning the faceoff, and he is bumped by Bob Murray. Chris Graham tips it back into his own zone. It's handled now by Manson. Larmer and Murray drop back along with Graham, and out come the Blackhawks. Manson up the middle to Larmer. Steve Larmer over the line, but Graham got ahead of him, and the play is offside.
Talked about Dirk Graham earlier. Jake's got the C on Dennis Savard. Used to have it on. They gave it to Dirk Graham. Got him in trade last year from the Minnesota North Stars. He's just had an excellent year for him.
And he really has. You look now at the Calgary bench. Terry Crisp is just doing some math. 12 wins, 8 losses in his playoff coaching career. A brief playoff stint last year. And now after going 7 games with Vancouver, 15 weeks, Los Angeles Kings at 4 and open this series. And some people are saying won't go any more than 4 again. But Chicago hoping to prove that to be a little different.
Biggs, I don't know. Let's not sell the Chicago Hockey Club out. They're playing loose. They have no pressure.
Roy Mullen moving in for Calgary. He's giving it to Doug Gilmore. Comes out of the corner. Nobody picked him up. Gilmore in the high slot. Now is checked by Manson. And Chicago able to come up with the puck. Jeremy Roenick, the rookie, moving in on this left side. The 19-year-old goes back to the net. Is knocked down by Natchez. There's Gilmore starting out for Calgary. Gilmore across the Chicago line. Got slowed up by Manson. McCowan in after the puck. The big defenseman walks out of the corner. Now goes back to the net with it. Another penalty call coming. And the Chicago gets control of the puck. Dave Jewell calling a roughing penalty. Still 14 seconds left in Poplinski's penalty. And no score in this first period action.
To understand Asia, you have to understand its customs, its mystery, its people. You have to know what makes a good impression and what offends. For over 40 years, we've been learning about Asia. So in addition to our convenient schedules, we can give you something no other U.S. airline can. The knowledge that comes after 40 years of helping people do business in Asia.
Roughing penalty on Dave Manson, the Chicago defenseman, called as you saw at the 2:20 mark. Here's the way the penalty came about.
Dave Manson, his nickname Charlie, he's really come a long way this year, and he's just been an excellent hockey player for him. He took a little bit more aggressive play there, and Dougie Gilmore, it's going to cost him now 4-3 in favor of Calgary.
Lots of ice here as Ramage holds the puck at the blue line. Feeds it into Lube. Back to Ramage. Lets one go. Kicked out by Chevrier. And the Blackhawks jump on it as Larmer clears the zone. Now Chicago, 2 men short. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty to Savard. Calgary with that 2-man advantage, having trouble in the center ice area. And Dwayne Sutter, Yanni played it down the ice, and Calgary trying to move up on the left side, mishandled the puck. Fleury goes in after it. Fleury feeds the blue line. MacInnis back to Fleury. Centers one across, tipped by Basson, and that goes up into the seat. Bob Basson, the lone forward, as you look at Joey Newendike, last year's Rookie of the Year in the National Hockey League, followed up with another 51-goal season and 5-4 here in the playoffs of '89.
Joey Newendike is struggling a little bit by his standards in the playoffs. a very key guy, especially in the power play. Takes a beating down front. They'll throw Nuazek at you, they'll throw Joel Otto at you down there. And the power play, again, then it revolves around those two people. And unless you get somebody inside that box and tie somebody up, you really don't have that manpower advantage.
Coach writing down the line combinations as you see Chevrier well up on top of the goal crease, making that save off Ramage a moment ago.
Chevrier has to be an aggressive goalkeeper, especially early in the game. He can't play back into that net.
Otto and Basson moved in for the face-off before Bob Murray stepped in to say something to Basson. He turns on Otto, but the Calgary Flames got the draw. Ramage with a shot. Blocked in front. Loose puck. Picked up by Basson, and then he couldn't hold it. Here's Ramage giving it to MacInnis. Chicago with one man back as Chevrier makes the save on the long shot and smothered the puck.
Once again, it's a very difficult play by Chevrier. He's trying to look through the screen of Joel Otto on there. Nobody can move Otto out of there. Such big, strong, and he's got to make that save. And it's so crucial with the 5-on-3 situation. Savard is just coming out of the box. And again, he's able to keep the puck in front of him and then bounce to his feet. He's getting a little help from the defenseman, but again, someone's got to cave in and clean out Otto. If you can't clean him out, you've got to neutralize the stick. Get in position and tie up the stick and get to the puck first.
Action and reaction.
The name of the game, Jakes. This game is a game of action and reaction, and that's how it'll flow throughout this whole 60 minutes.
Hard just beat Otto on the face-off here, but it's dug out of the corner. Gilmore fed it back. MacInnis shoots one wide. Mullen works it back to the blue line. Ramage to MacInnis through a screen. Blocked in front. They bang at it. Chevrier down. The scramble. The puck comes loose. The whistle had sounded, however. And now just 49 seconds left on the penalty to Manson.
Chicago's penalty killing, Jake, again, is #1 in the National Hockey League on the road in these playoffs. Success ratio is 87.9%. And what they do, they'll put pressure on every type of a pass and every shot and every rebound. There's people helping out. Now you see almost the whole forwards caving in on that thing. They revolve that box. They play off one another. Mike Keenan's done a fine job. It took them some time. They gave up, I think it was about 132 power play goals against them this year, but they have sure tightened up in the playoffs.
Yeah, they come in at number 19 at the end of the regular season, 74.6%, and here they are, just about 86% in the playoffs. A turnaround. But people are believing in the system of the coach now and enjoying the game. Otto won the draw, but put it right on Basson's stick, and he puts it over the heads of his teammates and on into the Chicago players' bench.
I think not only that, they are killing those penalties, but they're scoring on them. They can score shorthanded as good as anybody. They'll first Savard loose. They'll take Graham loose. They'll attack you with Farmer. This playoff series, they have scored 7 shorthanded goals. So they're a dangerous team killing a penalty.
Bobby Basson getting a rest now, but out killing off the penalties. The Bard wins the draw here as Farmer with Basson's spot. Basson back in his hometown of Calgary for the series against the Flames. 35 seconds remaining in Manson's roughing penalty. There is no score. Gilmore rushing the puck over the Chicago line. Center to Otto, and he's pretty well covered on the play as Farmer got to him. Give us at the point. Into Gilmore. That's the center one that was blocked by Clint Yanni. Murray